Oh no. I totally picked the wrong one. No, 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 no. Well. Yep. Well, that's a great way to start. Hey ladies and gents, Skim Rhythm here with another episode of Half-Life 2. This time we're taking the correct path. You want to go past the things that are the human-sized carrying things and take the one on the left, which will be to the back, because the other one takes you through the electricity and kills you, as you just saw. So, what's about to happen now is we're going to be taking a tour of the Citadel, and it is quite the tour indeed. I'm gonna close my blinds because it's really bright. Speaking of bright, that's better. Okay, so this part is going to be entirely autonomous. All you can really do is look around, and that's kind of the main thing for the Citadel, is that you're looking around, and you know, you get to see what's going on in here. This gigantic building that's so much bigger on the inside than it seems to be on the outside. I guess. I mean, for all I know, it could have extended very far in a direction I didn't see. Anyway, you see a stalker and a combine soldier there. See some stalkers down there working the equipment. You can see lots of these transport devices. I would assume a large number of them actually are carrying people. You know, kind of almost Matrix style. I don't know if they're using people as batteries, but they're certainly using them as workers and slaves. Yeah. Conveniently, as you're going past them all, they are not looking at you. I mean, the stalkers are blind, so they couldn't see you anyway, but the Combine soldiers are not blind, and they're conveniently looking away every time you pass by. And the Striders don't look up, and I don't think they're actually smart enough to care. But anyway. So this is pretty cool. Going over the tops of the Striders, you can get a look at what they look like up top if you didn't go up and see their corpses earlier, which you can totally go and do. And you can take a little peek at some of the, well, you can see some of the humans going by, and you can also see some of the Combine moving out, because either they know they've been infiltrated or they're going outside to continue the assaults to push people back. See them building the drop ships, which look oddly bug-like now that I get a really close look at them. Actually, no, those were the attack helicopters, not the drop ships. You can see a train going by, and yeah. Train carrying tons of these strange, almost coffin-like carrying things. So, this is cool. I like this part, it's really cool. And you can kind of see how these are not only meant to carry people, but they also kind of double as transport devices. Combine use them in everything.
Security alert. Unregistered weapons detected. Confiscation field engaged.
So this is where you lose all your weapons. Good luck going through without any of your weapons. So, goodbye rocket launcher and revolver and... Oh, wait a second.
Counter-resonance singularity device detected. Confiscation field failed. Security alert. Illegal counter-resonance singularity device detected. Deploy.
Yep. So, the gravity gun is supercharged now.
This is Dr. Breen. At last. I wish I could say this was a pleasant surprise, but it's neither a surprise nor, as you will surely agree, very pleasant. Well, I am nothing if not pragmatic.
So yeah, the gravity gun can pick up much heavier objects, and it can also pick up objects that are made of flesh now. So it's really fun. You take the bits of the computer and use them to destroy guys. And you can also pick up Combine soldiers and throw them at other Combine soldiers to accomplish the same effect. Like so. Also interesting is that the confiscation field is kind of active right now, so every time you kill a Combine soldier, their weapons vaporize. But yeah, this is one of the most awesome things about this game, is when you get the super gravity gun. And you can just kill enemies by picking them up, basically, and throwing them at each other. And also there's supposed to be things that supercharge your suit as well as your health. Your suit can go up to 200 instead of the usual 100, and it fills up your health at the same time. Am I about to die here? I think I'm about to die here. It's also fun to walk up to them and just hit them with the standard pulse from the gravity gun. I just died. That's embarrassing. You're not supposed to die when you get the super gravity gun. At all. And I just picked it up again. Fair. Oh, wait, here we go. Here's where it is. Yeah. So that's going to fill your charge to 200, which means you can just tank the Combine as you just toss them at each other. It's pretty great. You can also use the big objects as shields, which is pretty convenient. You couldn't really use any objects as shields before, because all the ones big enough to actually shield you were too big. It's very unlikely that you will actually use up these recharge stations whenever you're filling up your suit and health. So you can just go back to them whenever you need to. On impulse, I always pick them up. You can just give them a quick jolt with it and it'll actually have the same effect and kill them. But it's just so fun to just charge forward and pick them up and throw them at each other.
Well, Dr. Freeman, under other circumstances, I like to think we might have been able to work together in an atmosphere of mutual trust and respect. Certainly, judging from your brief tenure at Black Mesa while I was its administrator, you showed every promise of becoming a valuable and productive contributor to the scientific process. And yet, I'm not sure what spurred you to it. But there is really no place in this enterprise for a rogue physicist.
So that's another thing of this area. You've got the super gravity gun, you've got the occasional ride through the Citadel, and you've also got Breen talking to you on these computers. And it's interesting because it's the first time you see some messages from Breen that weren't just meant for either talking to the Combine soldiers or meant to be advertised to the general public in hopes of reaching you. He's actually talking directly to you. So this is an area where you get another achievement. You can actually fire Combine into this field and it vaporizes them. And there's actually an achievement for vaporizing a certain number of Combine soldiers. They don't have to be alive necessarily when you do it either. And this place is really easy to get it. You can get it no problem here. So, and you can also do it later on. You've got plenty of opportunities to do it here. So, yeah, the whole point here is they're going to start throwing as many Combine soldiers at you as possible, so you get to start messing around a lot more. And the gravity gun in general is a weapon that kind of encourages you to mess around to begin with. Only now it's even more so going to be like that. I feel like some kind of sadist I'm getting way too much enjoyment out of throwing these guys into this field and having them get vaporized. But it's way too much fun. Anyway, I believe that's almost all of them. There's the way to go. I think technically you can brute force your way through, but where's the fun in that? Let's take the elevator up. So here's another interesting area. You've got more of the generators that you can actually pull these things out of, and you've got these things that kind of produce these energy balls. And you can pick them up and use them as if you had the alternate fire from the Combine Assault Rifle, and it's pretty awesome. And there are just enough of these Supercharged stations around where this part shouldn't be very challenging. It's a lot of fun, but it's not very challenging. Also, not a terrible area to get the achievement where you like vaporize several Combine with one energy ball or whatever it's called. Also, I like how if you just fire a Combine soldier at them and he like goes along the ground, he just kind of he like trips them, and that the force of that trip is enough to kill them. It's like part of what they did to make them Combine soldiers or something through surgery is move their heart to their legs or something. You can tell I'm having a lot of fun here. Oh gosh. Especially fun when you just fire it at them and it ricochets and gets a whole bunch of them. Anyway, I believe that about covers that. And you've got almost immediately after another recharge station. Let's see. Does Breen have anything to say? Anything more? Because it's interesting. It's kind of like building up to something. I'm going to talk during this loading screen. In the first game, at the end of the game, there was a choice that you had to make, and one led to a canon ending, the other to a non-canon ending. And at this game, they kind of set it up like you have a choice coming up.
Are partly to blame, of course. My disappointment in Eli Vance and Isaac Kleiner is far greater than my sorrow over your unfortunate choice of career path. In a way, I suppose you could not have done otherwise. Who knows what seeds of iconoclasm they planted when you were young and gullible. But while they certainly share a great part of the responsibility for the recent troubles, it is you alone who have chosen to act with such willful disregard for humanity's future.
Yeah, shut up, Breen. Basically, it's trying to set you up for a choice to either join Breen or fight or continue to resist. And similarly, there's also something coming up later. Well, I don't want to get too much into it, but there is... They kind of imply... They try to set you up for choices a lot, but you don't actually make any choices in this game. And they basically tell you, I could give you a choice here, but what's the fun in that? Anyway, this is where it's really handy to be able to shoot those things. Although I think I'm getting a little too eager to use them, because I'm making a lot of... You start to play pretty sloppy whenever you're in very little danger of dying. So it kind of makes up a little bit for the fact that you can't die if you play carefully. I think they actually now that I think about it, they might spawn endlessly. No. Well, I think they do, but... Anyway. Once this is going on, you're gonna be fighting them, and you gotta, like... I don't know. I lost my train of thought pretty quickly there. But yeah, you're just taking the elevator up, and you're going pretty far up. So, you know, there are a lot of moments like this where you're taking the elevator up, and... Well, there aren't a lot of moments like this. This is like the only moment like this. What am I talking about? There is a moment where I think you go down the same elevator, or an elevator just like it, in episode 1. And it's pretty reminiscent of this, except that you have falling debris, and you have to look up and shoot it and hit it with an impulse from the gravity gun, and It's pretty, it can be pretty difficult, actually. Because if you mistime it, you don't... There's like a little recharge period or something for the gun where you can't use it again immediately after. And... yeah. Anyway. But yeah, if you mistime it during episode 1, if you mistime that part, then you die.
You have destroyed so much. What is it exactly that you have created? Can you name even one thing? I thought not.
Well, I don't really get the point you're going for there. Just because I haven't created anything significant doesn't mean that I don't want to save humanity from the Combine enslaving them all. I mean, I think that's kind of Breen's motivation throughout this whole thing, is that he wants to save humanity, period. But he doesn't care if they're enslaved in the process. Either that or he's just plain crazy and wants power. Or maybe some combination thereof. I think it's actually that one, but... yeah, so that's interesting. You can actually pull them through this field, whatever it is. And they'll slowly come through the field towards you. This is just a super gravity gun massacre. Literally. That's what this is a super gravity gun massacre. Good God. Continue. Oh look, more suit recharge. It's done quickly. This is the one area where you might...
I have laid the foundation for humanity's survival. And not as we have narrowly defined ourselves, but as something greater than we could ever imagine. Something we can now only begin to glimpse.
Yeah, this is one of the only areas in the game, in this part of the game, where you're actually kind of in danger of dying. Why are you in danger of dying? Not so much because of the Combine soldiers over there. I mean, they can't really do much of anything to you. The Strider, at the very end, on the other hand, can do a lot to you. Now, the interesting thing about this Strider is that you can actually kill him by hitting him with these solid metal objects. However, it's much easier to kill him with a few of these, because these will actually do more damage than a rocket will. However, you have to hit him with them, and he's very good at dodging them. And I'm also very, very bad at shooting them. And here we are back over here.
I have laid the foundation for humanity's survival. And not as we have narrowly defined ourselves.
So yeah, like I said, that's like the only area where you're actually kind of in danger of dying. But, yeah. I suppose you are if you refuse to use some of the super suit power-ups, but why would you? I mean, they throw so many enemies at you that it's really just not feasible to expect to not get killed during that if you don't use them. Anyway, let's see if I can actually kill this Strider this time, since I've killed the Combine so much earlier. Your best hope is to actually ricochet this thing off of them, rather than actually get a direct hit, because they tend to be very good at dodging. Am I about to die again? I think I'm about to die again. Oh! You gotta be careful about the landing body parts, because they can land on you and kill you. But yeah.
Look, Gordon. Look at what you are throwing away. Is it worth it?
Yeah. So, that nearly killed me. 2 health left, I'm alive, I'm not complaining. And as long as I don't take fall damage here, I should be good. Yes! Alright, I'll see you guys next time for the finale of Half-Life 2.